Welcome back to Metal Men in the Making. I just wanted to share a little funny graph that's related actually to the current pandemic. So we've all become familiar with flattening the curve. This one, someone amended the flattening the curve graph to try and embody the twin experience. Now, huge shout out to the triplet parents, or anyone that has more kids than just triplets at one time. Don't know how you do it. You have my utmost respect. But we get quite a few questions, particularly people with kids the same age that have just got one. They're like, oh man, what's it like to have twins? So I thought I'd just share a little bit, and this graph was a great way to do it. So let's kick into it. So as you can see there, I've just got the y-axis is number of interactions, the x-axis is time with infants. First graph being twins, obviously being a lot higher but shorter, and then flattening the curve, having kids at one time. The line there that's normally the healthcare capacity line is sanity. So you can see I've just put a little note there, that what you lose above that sanity line is spontaneous, light-hearted moments. And what we keep, obviously, because we love our children, and we're willing to sacrifice a lot of sleep or a lot of time for ourselves to do the essential care. And so we make sure that gets done, but some of those other fun times just get missed, just out of lack of time in a day, or just it being too demanding with the two young ones. So just a little example of that. Today I was just walking back from the park. We live very close to a river here on the Gold Coast that has lovely beaches, and I thought, it'd be nice to take the boys for a swim. The swimming part's not actually that bad, but trying to get the two of them dressed, and they're about 18 months old, after the swimming, to get them back in the pram to come home. I did it the other day by myself, and I was like, I cannot do this today. I cannot manage these two boys running, one running off while you're trying to dress one, and then obviously once you've dressed one, you've got to dress the other, and him running off. So I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to go home. They can play in the backyard. It's contained, and they can tear around, which is still fun and still great for them. But even though it's winter time, it still would have been cool for them to have a little splash around in the water. But just having both of them at the same age. Now, I've never had any experience other than this, but presumably if you had like a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, that situation could have been possible to manage. Just as my wife's at work today, so it's only just me. But I don't know, but my guess is that would be possible with an older child and a younger child. But I guess the final part of the graph there that I'd like to talk about is the golden zone. Now, the golden zone is something that we haven't experienced yet. We're probably just over the peak of the graph and just coming down the other side. Timeline wise, the first 12 months was really difficult. Getting up to 2 years, maybe 3 years is going to be really challenging. But that golden period is obviously both of our boys are going to go to school together, so it's not as if we're going to have one at school, one still at home, a younger child. But we're loving being parents, don't get me wrong, and we're loving the challenge that it's been, and we're excited to see our boys grow and to constantly have a playmate, which is super great. And we're also sad in that recognition that some of those little light-hearted moments where if you just had one kid, particularly when you're by yourself, you'd just be like, this would be easier, just do that, just go and sit in the cafe and have one kid in the high chair, and they can have their little baby chino, and can sit there and have your breakfast. But for me to go just by myself with the two boys, it's not worth the headache, and it is quite a big headache. Maybe not only for me, but other patrons of the restaurant. But yeah, super excited to see our boys grow and develop, and really glad that we were able to become parents. But that is just a brief illustration on what it's like to have twins. So yeah, I definitely recommend flattening the curve, both with pandemics and with children raising. But if you are like us and have multiple children, then hang in there, because that golden zone is hopefully just around the corner. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this brief illustration on what it's like to have twins. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.